think I'm losing my mind in here. I'm just getting attacked by wasps.
Can't get any more scared.
What?
Here?
What?
The curtain just moved.
Actually?
Oh, Jesus!
Changed. Somebody's still using it.
Uploaded on October 4th, 2025 by YouTuber Alexa Rivera. The video exploring abandoned stores. From my childhood marked a noticeable shift from her usual upbeat style. Known for comedy challenges and vlogs, Alexa and her friend Ashton set out to explore forgotten locations, amusement parks, diners, and gas stations left behind. But what they encountered wasn't nostalgic. It felt unsettling.
So this amusement park closed down in 2015 because of too many ride malfunctions.
Here we inside, and I couldn't help but feel uneasy about this place. Once filled with kids and fun, now sits completely empty, quiet, and probably haunted.
Okay, check this out. There is still water in the seats.
They still have the card reader that you use to swipe the card to get on the ride.
Wow. That's what's so crazy about this place, is most of the things are like still intact, even though it's been 10 years since it closed down. Normally parks have like a fun and lively vibe, but this one feels so dead and creepy, and I don't like it here.
Look at them.
They're in like perfect condition.
Oh my God, wait, I have to try one.
No, Ashton, I don't know why I find this a little bit creepy, but they are all lined up perfectly. Ashton, do you hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
The AC unit is still on.
Wait, what? Why?
Why would it still be on? To be the snack bar, you know, I'm assuming they used to sell like pretzels and Dippin' Dots and all sorts of things, and now the only thing it sells is dust.
Okay, so this first aid kit looks like no one has even touched it. Oh my God, look at all the supplies.
Oh my gosh.
Anything you need.
And considering how dangerous this amusement park used to be, I'm confused as to why they never got to use any of this. These might be surveillance tapes.
There's like perfectly new cameras here.
Well, let's hope that they're not working.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, the light.
What is that?
We gotta go. That came from that door, so we have to go out this one.
Wait, are you serious?
The only thing giving us a thrill at this amusement park was running for our lives. And with that, it's time to head to our next childhood location.
An abandoned children's performing arts center.
It's less performing arts and more paranormal acts now.
Yeah, so this place closed down in 2008 after the stage collapsed in 2007, injuring many kids and killing one. And some say the ghost of the dead child still lingers in here. So this was the stage that broke and injured the kids and killed one of them. You can even kind of see like where it broke, huh?
Yeah.
Right there under those leaves. I think I just saw a light flicker, and there's no power in here.
There's a whole upstairs.
Oh my gosh.
Should we go up?
Okay, right when we got up here, like, I started feeling really uneasy. I don't know, I just got this really bad feeling all of a sudden.
And just when I thought I couldn't get any more scared,
What?
Here?
What?
The curtain just moved.
The video opens at an amusement park closed since 2015, its rides still standing seats covered in dirt and ticket machines left untouched. What once echoed with laughter now sat in silence. Inside the snack bar, Alexa noticed a faint light flickering in a back room. Moments later, she and Ashton chose to leave. Their next stop took them to Baltimore to a children's performing arts center, abandoned after a stage collapse in 2007. The incident left several people injured and one child dead. Inside, water dripped from a damaged ceiling and overturned chairs filled the aisles. The atmosphere felt heavy, the silence unnatural. Then, without warning, the curtain shifted even though the power was off. The two paused briefly before rushing toward the exit.
Whoa. Okay, this feels less like a run and more like a run home. Crazy to think that this stadium was once filled with people and probably so loud from all the cheering, and now it's just silence. And look, the scoreboard is still intact.
Lexi,
What?
look what I found. Someone left their glove.
Ew, and your hand's in it?
Yeah, but it looks brand new.
Ashton, don't you think this stuff is a little bit weird that it's like brand new?
Fine, let's play catch with the ghosts.
Holy sh**. I think they want to play with you too.
Did you put those there?
Stop. You're lying.
Wait, there's peanuts still.
Peanuts are like the original baseball game snack. This is so weird. I don't know why this is so scary to me, but there are still a few rows of chairs still standing. Oh, I'm like hearing. Are you?
Yes.
I may have been a little paranoid, but I had every right to be. This baseball stadium was nothing like what I remember from my childhood.
So this diner shut down suddenly one night after a tragic accident. A fire broke out in the kitchen, injuring several staff and damaging most of the building. All right, here we go.
So this is like the kitchen.
I'm assuming that this area was the kitchen because that is the backing of a stove. And you can also see so many burn marks. If you remember, there was a fire that happened from inside the kitchen.
There's still a coffee mug here. There's like,
Oh, are those fish?
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
That's a snake skin.
Holy it is.
Dude, there's a snake living in here.
There's more over there. Look how long it is. This table being perfectly set up gives me a really bad feeling.
Yeah, it almost looks like someone did this purposely.
I think I'm losing my mind in here. I'm just getting attacked by wasps. I literally feel like there's wasps on me.
I know, they're like attacking it.
They moved on to a baseball stadium once filled with cheering crowds, but now overtaken by weeds and dust. The scoreboard remained, a glove sat undisturbed on a seat, and peanut shells still covered the stands as if the last game had just ended. The wind carried an empty echo across the bleachers. At an abandoned Denny's, every table was neatly set utensils cups, even a high chair still positioned by the window. Then, a swarm of wasps appeared, forcing them to leave immediately.
This gas station has been abandoned for over 22 years, and today we're stepping inside to see what's been left behind. Why is there one chair in there?
I don't know, but that makes it 10 times creepier. Yeah, that chair is 100% possessed.
Yeah.
It feels a little bit weird in here now.
Like the freezer's not even on, and I have the chills.
It's getting creepy.
This is less like a gas station and more like a ghost station. I keep hearing noises, and it's actually scaring the hell out of me. Oh, that there were these rooms inside of a gas station.
I know, it's a little bit strange. It just shows you how long this place has been abandoned. This is all rat poop. Everywhere you go, you just hear them crawling everywhere. Yeah, they're literally everywhere.
Their final stop, an old Shell gas station, felt colder than expected. Freezers stood empty, a single chair rested in the darkness, and somewhere inside, something moved, a faint metallic sound, like scraping across the floor. Viewers later noticed a faint shadow shifting behind them in the footage. Some suggested it was just lighting or camera movement, but others believed it seemed too deliberate, as if something unseen was present. Alexa never explained what caused the noise inside the gas station. Although she continued uploading videos afterward, she never returned to those locations. Maybe some places once entered aren't meant to be revisited. Is from Its Baits, a US-based YouTube channel that blends urban exploration with hands-on paranormal tests. The team is known for late-night visits to abandoned structures, dark tunnels, and remote forested areas. On November 16, 2021, they went back into a pitch-dark forest under a full moon to attempt the dead man's tag ritual at a warped aging tree known locally as the Devil's Tree. What started as a simple challenge quickly turned into a tense night where silence gave way to rustling sounds, heavy breathing, the sensation of being touched, and two chilling screams that sent them fleeing.
We invite you to play a game of tag. Home base is this Devil's Tree right here. We have until the count of 60 seconds to hide. Then you may look for us. Once we have all returned home, the game is done.
Now we're gonna yell, "You're it! You're it!" Yo, we gotta hide. We have 1 minute to freaking hide. Yeah, this flashlight. Yes. Yo, look at this place, guys. It is super creepy. Last time when we did it here, I saw like a pale face.
We're seeing like stuff right now.
Yeah, we heard before as well.
Yeah, but where should we go? We have like 40 seconds, I think.
Something like that.
Maybe we should go to the pool over there.
Last time we like hid somewhere here.
I don't
Somewhere.
remember where we heard. We didn't even hide yet.
Yeah.
So, like,
Guys, this is the hole.
yeah, should we hide in there? Okay, there. I think there's another hole here.
Yeah, but
Dude, maybe we should go like more that way.
yeah, dude. But
There's something there.
okay, dude. This is super creepy. It's
Yeah.
gonna be a long video, I feel like.
Yeah, dude, I think the timer's already up, dude.
Yeah.
It's so hard to see right now.
Yeah, it's super hard. Guys, this is the full moon also, guys. You see it? Full moon, guys. Yeah. Yo, look at this place. Like, it's so creepy. It's gonna be a very long video. Insane, guys. Yo. What? I don't reckon. Oh, I know this place.
Like bricks here. Like Jersey Devil bricks.
Yeah. Yo, I think the timer's up. We gotta like find.
Yeah, we can't.
Yo, should we like hide here?
There's like a cleared area here, so maybe let's go a little bit.
But look at this place, though.
Go hide behind these chairs over here.
Yeah. Yo, the ghost could literally be like behind us.
Yeah, he could be watching us right now.
Yo.
Okay, yeah, let's hide over here.
Okay, sure. Yo, what? This Devil's Tree number 2, bro. Yo, I heard something. Dude, I heard something. Like from up. Could be a bird. Just hide, bro. I saw something. Oh, I saw. Yo, I just turned on the flashlight, guys. Oh, yeah. Yo, it's... Yo, dude, this is so creepy. What's that? Is someone walking?
The group confirmed the rules at the base of the twisted tree. It would act as home base. They would hide for 1 minute. Once the count ended, the search would begin. Flashlights flickered as they recited a brief chant to begin the ritual. When the countdown finished, they split off into the woods, some crouching inside hollow spaces and shallow pits, others moving into small open areas beneath the dim moonlight. As their lights went out, the forest settled into an unnatural quiet. Soon after, faint rustling disturbed the stillness, followed by deep, strained breathing that seemed to come from just beyond the edge of visibility. One person described a sudden pressure, like something brushing against or grabbing them, while the air around them turned noticeably colder.
Fucking go! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yo, dude, get out! Oh my god! Yo! Yo, what the fuck? Again! Yo! Dude! What the fuck? Yo!
Man, that was so weird.
Yo!
Freaking screaming.
Can you hold this, please? Yo! Dude, what the actual frick was that? Guys, literally, we were in the forest. You gotta end the ritual.
Oh yeah, dude, we gotta go back to Devil's Tree.
Nah, we're not going back here.
Dude, but we have to. We're like gonna
Guys.
get cursed.
I hope the camera catches it. We were like in the place. We heard a lot of like rustling and faint walking, and then we heard like really loud breathing. And I felt someone was grabbing me. I don't know if it actually was.
Dude, I felt like it got really cold.
Yeah, it got really cold this shit. And also, guys, when we left,
Uh-oh.
When
Okay, let's
we-
go into the forest.
yo, go. Yo, dude, when we left the forest, when we literally left the forest, there was like 2 really loud screams.
Oh yeah,
One was when we were running, and the other one was when we were like out of the forest. I hope the camera catches it. Please, God, I hope the camera catches it, guys.
Fear escalated quickly. Voices called out as everyone rushed back toward the tree. Without warning, a sharp scream pierced the darkness. They ran, convinced something was behind them. As they reached the edge of the woods, a second louder human-like scream echoed from within, closer, this time forcing them into a full retreat away from the area. After regrouping, the team described the same pattern: silence, then subtle noises followed by the heavy breathing, and that clear sense of contact, ending with the 2 screams that marked their escape. By the time they left, no one was willing to go back to the Devil's Tree. What began as a test ended in a hurried escape. Once the lights were gone, the stillness of the forest likely intensified every sound. Moving branches and shifting air currents could have created the impression of breathing. The sudden drop in temperature may have come from wind passing through the trees. Even the feeling of contact might have been caused by low branches brushing against them. But the screams remained difficult to explain. 2 separate cries, happening exactly as they were leaving, raise a serious question. If it wasn't an animal, then who else could have been out there that night? Which explanation seems most likely to you: an animal, a setup, or something else entirely? And if that second scream sounded closer after they had already moved away, who or what might have been near the trail when they believed they were out of danger? The clip is taken from Donald Rides. Bikes, a YouTube channel centered on cycling adventures, particularly mountain biking, rough trail riding, and deep outdoor exploration. His videos often capture the thrill of fast descents through forested paths, but this ride would show how quickly a situation can turn dangerous. On September 28, 2024, Donald headed out on the John Muir Trails in Kettle Moraine, Wisconsin. Racing downhill, he navigated through dense woods, every curve of the trail requiring full concentration. His focus stayed fixed on the narrow route ahead, wheels sending up dirt with each turn. Then, without any warning, everything changed.
Oh, Jesus! Holy dude! Whew. That scared me, man. Whew. And that'll get the heart rate going.
A gunshot rang out nearby, loud, sudden, and dangerously close. For a brief moment, he froze, caught off guard by how narrowly something serious had just been avoided. It quickly became clear that someone may have mistaken him for an animal and fired. Even though the shot didn't hit him, the closeness of it was enough to shake him. His adrenaline surged as his heart raced, realizing how close he had come to real danger. The shot may have come from a hunter misreading movement in the trees. Bright biking gear and posted trail signs are intended to reduce these risks, but when cyclists and hunters share the same area, mistakes can still happen. What makes this more concerning is the timing. Donald wasn't standing still, he was moving quickly, which made the sudden gunfire even more unsettling. Just how close do you think that shot really was, and if it hadn't missed, would anyone have known in time what had taken place? Out there in the quiet of the forest, a single wrong decision can be the difference between a normal ride and something far worse. Wildcat Adventures is a UK-based outdoor channel centered on wild camping and immersive travel. On January 12, 2026, the creator arrives at Hot Water Beach on New Zealand's Coromandel Peninsula, a location known for geothermal heat just beneath the sand. When she arrives, the beach is already busy, and as she digs into the sand, she immediately feels intense warmth with heated water rising from below.
That's so cool. We're gonna go for a swim. Oh, and I found a nice volcanic stone as well. Apparently this big volcano. Let's go for a swim in a warm lake. It's warm. It's a bit cooler there. Does wild swimming get any better than this? That was the best wild swim I've ever had. Water was just like being in a bath. You've got the blue skies and the gently lapping waves and the tropical vibes. Oh, my tent's a bit damp. Sure it'll dry out in this wind.
She notices volcanic stones nearby and steam drifting through the air as she prepares to swim along the naturally warmed shoreline. Once in the water, steam surrounds her, while the cool ocean air and rolling waves contrast with the geothermal heat, creating a surreal scene shaped by the area's unique geology. After swimming, she heads to a nearby campsite to set up for the night, expecting a quiet, wild camping experience. Instead, other campers arrive and pitch their tent directly behind hers, disrupting any sense of privacy and forcing her to relocate to avoid tension.
So we're moving because these guys have just turned up. Apparently they booked that campsite a couple of months ago. I have actually booked this particular spot. So I guess I've only got myself to blame. They just pumped themselves right behind me. Literally, you'd be able to hear them snoring and farting, and they had two babies as well. So I've relocated. Time's about 10 o'clock. Pretty knackered, very chilled. I'm gonna go to sleep. Go for a little early morning swim. Why not? Attempted to fix my leaking air mat last night. Semi-effective. I had to blow it up a couple of times in the night. So the bit that's leaking is just underneath the valve. I've kind of tried to patch it up as best as I can. Clearly quite badly. It's not sticking very well. I'm hoping, being that it's a valve issue, that Exped will sort me out, because it's not a puncture that I've done. The weird thing with camping here is the ground underneath the tent is warm. You know when you sit down on somewhere where somebody else has just been sitting and it's like, oh, you've warmed it up for me. Kind of weird to think I'm that close to volcanic activity and the whole place could just go kaboom.
As night sets in, a slow leak near the air mattress valve requires repeated reinflation, interrupting her rest. Lying in her tent, she remains aware of the heat rising from the ground beneath her, close to active geothermal zones, adding a subtle sense of unease to an otherwise calm night. Geothermal beaches can be remarkable, but they also require caution and flexibility, as crowds and equipment issues can quickly disrupt plans. Even without real danger, the contrast between a rare natural experience and an unsettled night shows how unpredictable wild travel can be. At what point would the trade-off stop feeling worthwhile? City Boy is a creator known for immersive solo trips that document winter camping and survival in remote forests. On January 11, 2026, he sets up camp in a secluded winter forest in Japan, expecting nothing more than a quiet night, unaware of the tension that would soon develop. Before settling in, he leaves the car to walk to a distant restroom. The forest is nearly silent, interrupted only by faint ambient noise from a nearby river and occasional wildlife, while darkness closes in and each step crunches across leaves and twigs. As he moves deeper into the trees, the sense of isolation intensifies. Then, he begins to hear footsteps behind him. First, he tries to dismiss the sound as imagination or natural movement, but it continues, steady, deliberate, and getting closer. Panic builds as his sense of direction briefly falters. Instead of turning back, he quickens his pace, focused on reaching the car. The footsteps continue until he gets inside, stopping suddenly the moment he closes the door. The tension peaks there, heightened by the darkness, the cold, and the feeling of being followed. Once back in the car, he decides to stay put and wait out the night. By morning, he packs up, cleans the campsite, and leaves the forest, but the memory of what happened the night before lingers. Situations like this show how silence, darkness, and isolation can intensify fear even without visible danger. Yet if footsteps trail behind you in a quiet forest, how do you know when it's imagination and when it's time to leave? This video comes from Exploring with Bear, a US-based adventure and paranormal channel that documents visits to remote and tragic locations in real time. On January 13th, 2026, Bear hikes alone along a snow-covered woodland trail, returning to a campsite where a man named Justin had died from exposure, unaware that the site would no longer appear the same.
Another cool find on that Randonautica adventure was this owl, wooden owl, and it had letters on the back.
Man, it's freezing right now. Look, what is it? Is that a blanket? Or a coat? Oh, look. The dog muzzle that we found last time, it was in the weeds over here. It is now up high in the trees over here. That is interesting.
That's pretty high in the trees. So somebody moved the dog muzzle.
The winter setting is quiet and overcast, heightening the sense of isolation as Bear retraces a previous Randonautica visit, remembering scattered personal belongings once seen along the trail. As he gets closer, subtle but concerning changes begin to show. A dog muzzle that had once been lying on the ground is now hanging high in a tree, suggesting someone has been there since his last visit.
I see it. I see the tent. I can tell already the bike is gone or been moved.
Hello? I just heard footsteps over here. That was 100% footsteps on the trail. I see somebody walking. Okay, well now, haven't heard nobody for a few minutes. Let's make our way back to where Justin was found. Everybody all right? The bike is gone. The medicine's gone. The tent is zipped back up.
That was zipped back up.
Man, I hope there isn't somebody else frozen in here. Okay, things have changed. Somebody's still using it. Man, it stinks in there. Almost forgot about the jawbone. It's still there.
Tent was zipped up. There was a little gas can that's been put back up on the inside. Man, that is super duper creepy in itself. That tent is still being used.
At the campsite, Justin's tent is zipped shut again. Medication that had been left inside is now missing, and additional objects such as a gas can and a jawbone are discovered nearby. A bicycle that had previously been present is no longer there, reinforcing the feeling that the site is still being visited. The mix of recent disturbances and the known tragedy creates a heavy sense of unease, intensified by the cold, snow-covered surroundings. Locations tied to tragic events often draw people back, leaving new traces that keep the atmosphere unsettled. Bear leaves knowing the area remains unpredictable and may require another visit with support. But when a place keeps changing over time, how can you tell what's natural and what suggests someone might still be there?